So on your homework assignment the other night, you were finding the slope in the y-intercept given a graph. So on this graph here, it had a slope or a rise of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, and so 6 over 2 simplified to a slope of 3, and it also crossed the y-axis at 2, so it had a y-intercept of 0, 2. What you didn't have at the time, but now I'm going to show you, is the equation of this line, which is y equals 3x plus 2. So the thing that I want you to see is that the slope, which was 3, appears in this equation, and the y-intercept, which was 0, 2, also appears in this equation. Let's look at the next one. So on the next one, our rise was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and our run was 5. That would simplify 10 over 5 to 2, but then don't forget in this picture that penguin would be sledding downhill, and so therefore it's a negative slope. And we see again that this number appears in our equation. The y-intercept, where it crossed the y-axis, was 5, 0, 5, and that also appears in this equation. So do you think you could make a prediction at this point on the rest of these problems where you'd expect to see the slope in the equation and the y-intercept in this equation? Think about that just for a second before moving on to the next page. So maybe your prediction was that the slope was always going to be next to x and the y-intercept was always going to be that other number. If that was the case, great prediction. If not, don't worry, you just heard it. So my slope of 3/4 is my x multiplier, and my y-intercept of 0, -1 is being added or subtracted at the end. This next problem had a slope of -7/2. Here it is as my coefficient of x, and my y-intercept of 0, 3 was being added on at the end. And for the final problem, the slope was 1/2 because it was 3 over, oh, that slope is not 1/2. That slope is 1, 2, 3 over 5, whoops, which means that my equation is also wrong because it should be y equals 3/5 x minus 4. Sorry about that. We're going to use this idea that the slope is our coefficient of x and our y-intercept is that extra number on the next practice sheet. Go ahead and go to the next video that you can find either in your email or your assignment doc.